A young radio disc jockey and a telephone operator team up to investigate strange things happening in their small town. The Vast of Night is basically a feature-length Twilight Zone episode. It starts zooming slowly into an old-timey TV till eventually you are in the movie. It's a cool intro, but it doesn't really add a whole lot to the story. What I like about first-time filmmakers like Andrew Patterson is they're not afraid to take chances, and they've had their entire life to perfect this first movie. The Vast of Night has some very innovative camera shots. There's a couple of 10-minute long scenes where the camera never cuts away and just slowly zooms in on what's happening on screen and just draws you right into that action. Now, these long scenes are not complex. Anyone could do them with any camera. But a mix of what the actors are doing on the screen, mixed with the sound effects and the score and the way the camera zooms in, makes them completely engrossing. I've never been on the edge of my seat before watching someone route phone calls until The Vast of Night. And then my favorite shot in the movie, which seems completely impossible, is we see the camera start high up in the sky, zoom in low to the ground, goes through the entire town, and ends up in the middle of a basketball game. And I thought this has to be some kind of CGI magic, but it turns out it was done very low tech with a couple of drones and a guy on a skateboard. When you don't have a whole lot of money to work with, you MacGyver what you can to get the shots that you want. The Vast of Night proves that you don't need loud noises or ghosts or ghouls or blood or guts to make your skin crawl. Not a whole lot actually happens on the screen. Everything happens off screen. And you know what they say is the scariest thing in a movie is what you imagine in your head. This is a movie that demands to be watched in the dark. While not my ideal viewing arrangement, I watched this laying in bed with a laptop on my chest with noise-canceling headphones on, and the way the screen was shining so close to my face, it completely blacked out the rest of the room, and I only heard the noises that the filmmaker intended me to hear. And that probably added a whole lot to why I liked this so much. I was just completely engrossed in it from beginning to end. This is a horror movie in the vein of classic horror movies. It's not one that's going to make you sleep with the lights on or anything like that. This movie is very dark, and I mean that literally, as in you may have to crank the brightness up on your TV to see it very well. And the reason for that is because, as the title suggests, a lot of it, in fact I think all of it, takes place at night. And the film was done with such a low budget they couldn't afford high-end cameras or lighting rigs that are used for shooting high-quality night scenes. So because they couldn't afford fancy visuals or special effects and that sort of thing, they rely a lot on talking. And there is a lot of talking in this movie and a lot of fast talking, a lot of monologues. But the story is written very, very well, and all the characters are interesting to listen to speak, so it just adds to the ambiance of the movie. The Vast of Night screams 1950s, 1960s horror movies. It is full of style, and it's the perfect amount of scary. Listening to reel-to-reels, pre-3-point line basketball games, small-town radio stations, telephone switchboard operators, walking, talking, and smoking.